Pro will get you equipped for anything with a John Deere 5045E utility tractor. At only $159 per month, you can add the perfect attachment to dig it, plow it, grade it, anything. Request a quote at agproco.com and get equipped for anything. Subject to approved installment credit with John Deere Financial. 20% down payment required. Taxes, freight, setup, and delivery charges could increase monthly payment. See dealer for details.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Now during Midday with Joe on WOCA, it's time for all your questions, so listen in for your answers on Ask Big Joe. Now during Midday with Joe on WOCA, it's time for all your questions, so listen in for your answers on Ask Big Joe. Now during Midday with Joe on WOCA, it's time for all your questions, so listen in for your answers on Ask Big Joe.
Wow, three intros.
Go in there anymore.
Where'd you get that guy anyway? Who's that guy?
Some English guy.
Some English guy.
English guy.
He's practicing.
WOCA. Big Joe.
All right, today it is it's
English.
It's Ask Big Joe. Of course, it's Dear Big Joe on the letters here. So,
All right.
if you have a question for Joe, you can send it to Rob, and she'll get it to me, and I'll read it to Joe.
So that thing has to say, not Ask Big Joe, ask Dear Big Joe.
Or Dear Big Joe. Dear Big Joe.
Dear Big Joe, I stubbed my toe. Oh, you know what? I found out why we have a little toe.
How? Why?
Why we have a little toe? That's to keep all their furniture straight.
That's funny. All right. I one time had a little toe.
What?
I had a little toe one time.
Well, good.
I broke down on the corner. I only need a little toe, just back to my yard.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, ready?
I'm waiting for the jokes.
If you have a question for Joe, you can send it to Robin. We won't read it today, but we'll get to it next week.
And the email is
Robin@WOCA.com.
There you go.
Dear
Robin
Big Joe.
WOCA.
Ready to jump into him?
I'm ready. I got an answer for you. You got a question?
Dear Big Joe.
Yeah.
I have a mouse in my house. I know you probably think I should kill it, but I just don't have the heart.
Oh.
In fact, I bought some of those have-a-heart traps that supposedly keeps the mouse alive and in a box so that I can let it outdoors. But so far, they are not taking the bait. What else can I do? Fan of the mouse in Kissimmee, it says, by the way.
Oh, well, let's see. Do you have a pet snake?
That would kill it.
Oh, he wants to keep it alive.
Yeah.
And the humane traps are not working?
Right.
Well, then the only other one is you have to kill the dang things. But how does he know he has mice in there if they're not? I wonder how he knows he has mice.
Maybe
still.
he or she has seen the mouse?
I don't know. So the mouse is smarter than the traps?
So you have no clue what to do, huh?
I would say get the sticky stuff. So,
Kill it.
They don't stick it. They just stick on it.
All right.
And they put them out in the field and unstick them. Go.
All right, next question. Dear Big Joe, I have a 36-inch by 36-inch standing shower stall that has a cracked shower pan floor. I bought a sealant, but it still leaks. Also, I'm worried that the wood flooring underneath might be rotting. What do you suggest I do? Still standing in the shower in Camden.
Time to call Mr. Fix-It. If it's soft on the floor, time to rip it out and have it redone by a professional. If you don't have a professional, you want to do it yourself, you can do it. It's a 36 by 36, which sounds like a normal size pan you could buy at a home repair shop or a home.
All right. Dear Big Joe, but you get some handyman questions today. Dear Big Joe, how much does it cost to install an attic ladder? What would you, and also, would you provide this service in southeastern Massachusetts?
They do have people in Southeast Massachusetts to do it. That's no problem. Just look it up in the yellow pages or Google it, and you can buy those attic ladders at your home improvement store. That's no problem. But I would definitely have someone professionally put it in because it goes between the rafters and they have to be made.
All right. Dear Big Joe, I work as a runner in a law firm, which means I do pickups, make deliveries, and do any other out-of-office tasks the lawyers or other staff need.
Oh, I know what that's called.
What's it called? Gopher?
Gopher, exactly.
Part of my job involves picking up lunch for the office. Sometimes the office manager will give me cash from the firm account to pay.
Okay.
Other times the lawyers give me money out of their pockets to cover it.
Okay.
Whenever I pick up and pay for these orders, the cashier or waiter is usually expecting a decent tip, especially when there are large orders. I am instructed to tip 10%, no more.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I believe in being more generous because I know how poorly restaurant workers are paid. However, because the money is not mine, I must tip only what I am instructed to do.
Okay.
Sometimes, depending on the order, this results in a very poor tip. How can I let the cashier know that I would tip more if it were my own money?
Open thy mouth and tell them. I'm working for a lawyer A, B, and C, and they can give you 10%. Seeing you're not servicing me at a table and it's to go, usually to go you don't give a tip at all. So they should be happy with 10%. Because you walk into any place for a to-go order, you pay and you go. So there's no tipping on a to-go order. I'm surprised they said yes for 10%.
Right,
You should be lucky and say thank you.
Yeah, good question.
All right, dear Big Joe,
solution.
I am a 23-year-old liberated woman who
Okay.
has been on the pill for 2 years.
Okay.
It's getting expensive, and I think my boyfriend should share half the cost. But I don't know him well enough to discuss money with him. What should I do?
I look at it this way. If you discuss sex with him, you can discuss the money with him. And I'll tell you, it takes two to tango. So if he doesn't want to put his raincoat on, then he can pay for half the pill.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Yay, Joe. I love that one.
Let's see. Dear Big Joe, do you think it would be all right if I gave my doctor a little gift? I tried for years to get pregnant and couldn't, and he finally did it.
Say what?
I guess he helped her.
He helped
get
her.
pregnant.
She's wanting to know if it's appropriate to give her a little gift.
Yeah.
Sure. Doctors love gifts.
In 9 months, you'll have the gift, sir.
Well, is it his gift that he provided, or was it a gift that he provided to another?
That's right.
So, yeah. But if it was a helping hand or more, then
There you go.
next.
Let's see. Dear Big Joe,
Yes.
I've been going steady with a man for 6 years. We see each other every night. He says he loves me, and I know I love him, but he never mentions marriage. Do you think he's going out with me just for what he can get?
First of all, yes. Second of all, with today's day and age, you can mention marriage. So if you are there and this guy doesn't want to mention marriage, you mention it. And if he says, oh, no, well, bye, so long, if you're really into marriage. If he's not into marriage and he's not into marriage, and you know, how many billions of people live on this earth? So there you go.
Exactly. There's more fish in the sea.
Dear Big Joe, my husband hates to spend money. I cut my own hair and make my own clothes, and I have to account for every nickel I spend.
Oh.
Meanwhile, he has a stock of savings bonds put away that would choke a cow. How do I get some money out of him before we are both called to our final judgment? He says he's saving it for a rainy day.
Ooh.
Well, let's see. Where can they move where it rains first?
Washington State.
Secondly, is it a 50-50 marriage? If it is not, then you can say, am I worth me? How much am I worth? What am I doing in this household to keep everything going? If not, get your own job and keep all your own money and do what you want.
There you go. I like that.
There you go.
I like that.
Uh-oh.
Dear Big Joe,
Yes.
when being introduced to somebody new,
Uh-oh.
is it all right to say, I've heard a lot about you?
Wow. Well, it depends what you heard about them. If you heard a lot about them, it's like, hey, I heard a lot about you, and it's all been bad. That's not good. Or hey, I heard a lot about you, and it's all been good. Well, that's all right. But if it's
let's see, dear Big
closed
Joe.
mouth guy, there's no foot. Yes.
Dear Big Joe, what's the difference between a wife and a mistress?
About 50 pounds.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I know.
It's true, though.
But there was no other answer for that.
Dear Big,
all right, 25
Dear
pounds.
Big
There
Joe,
we go.
my workplace, like many others, is scent-free because of the possibility that some employees might be chemically sensitive. We don't know of anyone with sensitivities, but it's company policy. I changed to using unscented laundry soap and stopped wearing perfume when the policy started. The other day, a lady in my office came in and announced loudly that there was a terrible perfume smell in the corridor. And what I think was intrusive, after what I think was intrusive sniffing, she decided it was coming from me. I had showered that morning, and the only thing it could have been was my shampoo.
Herbal essence, probably.
There was a lot of complaining and a reminder of the policy. I even received a note from the boss.
Wow.
I don't want to make this a big deal because it might go too far, but what should I do?
I heard a Head and Shoulders, but this is
Perfume
ridiculous.
smell in St. Paul.
I get a different job.
Well, yeah. I was thinking, get a different job, or tell them you need a ventilation system in there, and and see if they have a leg to stand on. I've never heard of a place that, I don't know. You stink, thank you, but you smell.
Yeah, unscented laundry soap. I mean, gosh, that's going too far.
I think so.
Too far.
Dear Big Joe, I have been married for 3 years.
Okay.
We are both retired. 5 months after the wedding, my husband let me know that he was not interested in having sex anymore. Ooh. We no longer share a bedroom. I feel like I am living with a very nice male friend. Other than the lack of affection, he isn't a bad person, and he pays all the bills. I did state clearly to him before we were married that I was looking for a husband, and he agreed to everything I said. Although I am lonely, I would never cheat on him. I've been thinking about an exit plan. We pray every night and attend church together. He refuses to consider any type of marriage counseling. I'm not stressed, but I know I must get out of here. Any suggestions on how to save the marriage?
Well, a marriage counselor he doesn't want to go to. So look for the nearest exit sign and roll, baby, roll. You are stressed because you wrote me a letter telling me that you're stressed, without saying you're stressed. That says it straight up. You sound like you need a man in your life in more ways than one. He's just a breadwinner right now, so,
He's a breadwinner.
Wow,
Okay.
what's the matter with him?
Yeah, what's the matter?
That means no
that's
children
another thing.
either.
Something's wrong with him, too, and he won't go to counseling. So why he doesn't I don't know.
Maybe he was a
I don't know. We don't want to go
other
there.
person.
Dear Big Joe, I recently had to spend a night in the hospital following minor surgery. One of the female techs taking care of me leaned over me to straighten out the bedding, and I could see everything. I'm not sure if it was on purpose or not. I say this because after the first time, it happened several more times. I only looked the first time, to be honest. The other times I looked away. What should I do?
Why look away? I mean, I don't see a problem. If it's there and look, no touch, but look,
Exactly. There's a free show there.
They're showing, you're looking, so what the heck? Hey, you enjoyed Ask Me Joe. Thank you. Enjoyed AM Ocala Live. This is WOCA Ocala.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.
It is indeed a good morning for Senate Republicans.
Top Senate Republican Mitch McConnell will have a larger majority to work with, the party picking up at least 2 Senate seats, maybe 4 when all the results are in. But Democrats take control of the House.